So game week 1, not only did I not captain Mo Salah, I didn't even have Mo Salah in my team. So let's have a look how my game week 1 went and my game week 2 team selection and my plans going forward with the team so far. So what can we say? Let's just start obviously with the Mo Salah, No Salah situation. It is something that I've talked about on the channel before. It's something that I've talked about the reasons why, and the idea was to spread funds around. Now a lot of people, first we'll start with Mo Salah himself. Yes, he was fantastic. Yes, he was energetic, but again, I'm going to try my best. I'm going to stick to my guns here, guys, and just say that he's not going to get a hat-trick every week. He's not going to score 2 penalties every week. So it is unlucky as well that it just so happens that my spreading of the funds is also not paid out, unfortunately. So you can see some of the reasons why I didn't get Mo Salah is so I could get a more balanced side. So for example, if you look at my front three, Timo Werner, Dominic Calvert-Lewin and Danny Ings. So if I had Mo Salah, then I probably would have had to put in someone like Callum Wilson. He scores, and of course, Calvert-Lewin scores, which is great. Werner gets me assists, and somehow, Danny Ings has come away from a makeshift Crystal Palace side without a goal to his name, despite the fact they had like less than 30% possession. Also, the reason for no Mo Salah, it allowed me to get a couple of extra like 8 million midfielders. So I took a punt on Dele Alli and on Kai Havertz. Dele Alli was hooked at half time, and Kai Havertz, let's just say, has not quite fit into the Chelsea side as of yet. Yes, he was slightly played out of position though. I do expect him to play more centrally in the future. But as far as game week 1 goes, and I've got Saint Maximin. He got me 3 points. I mean, he looks good, and I'm not expecting much from my 5.5. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang was my captain. That was the last decision I made that you guys saw. It wasn't Salah and Aubameyang that I was going to do. It was going to be Salah or Aubameyang. So that was the decision that I made. But, you know, spoiler alert, he's going to be my captain this week. That's why I went with him in the end, because he's got captain fixture against Fulham, and then this week captain fixture against West Ham. And then in defence, oh boy. So again, the idea was without Mo Salah, well, I'll have 2 of the best full-backs in the league. Fair play to Robertson. He did get an assist. Almost got 2 assists. Unfortunately, was ruled out. Van Dijk almost scored 2 goals. Almost 2 assists for Robertson. He actually, I think, is probably the only person out of that entire defence that can come out of that game with, you know, pretty solid performance. Trent Alexander-Arnold. What can we say about this, guys? We're looking at one of arguably the best right backs in the world over the last year or two, and he's coming back from injury. He's just back from international duty. He's not had a lot of preseason under his belt. That's fine, but my God, did he have a shocker? Absolute shocker. Even that kind of own goal that was ruled offside, but he didn't know it was offside at the time. I just blew my mind how bad he was. Even the stats, like there was his expected assist XG was XA, was like something ridiculous, like 0.01. It was awful. But we're still looking at 2 of the best players for their price, for their positions. Kyle Walker-Peters getting 1 point. So I said about Crystal Palace when I was talking about Danny Ings. Kyle Walker-Peters, I did post during the game as well that I find it difficult if I was a Crystal Palace fan, because after 30 minutes the image that I posted was a stat that came in the drop down by the scores, and after 30 minutes Southampton had something like 150 passes and Crystal Palace had about 40, and they have like a 40% success rate. Like, absolutely madness. But if you look at his heat map and you look at his attacking prowess, I actually think for 4.5 million, he's still actually a good option. I felt that the issue for Southampton's defence wasn't the defenders, it's the protector, Romeo. I did mention it during the game. It was his fault for the goal, his poor pass that led them go in. But again, for 4.5 million, you sort of get what you pay for. And then Ryan get me 1 point there with Chelsea winning against Brighton Monday Night Football. But again, that was expected. McCarthy got 1 point better, so that's it. So I have got 42 points for this game week, which is just below the average. Of course, if people who captain Salah have got 40 points, and that happens, this is FPL, this is football. I cannot panic. I'm trying not to panic. I've made even a wild card draft. I'm looking at this team, and when I go into the transfer that I've made for the game week, it was already one that I had planned. But, you know, I'm looking at the likes of Dele Alli getting hooked at halftime. I'm looking at Havertz, who I'm not too sure he's quite ready to fit in there. I'm looking at Maximan thinking 5.5 midfielder, or should I just change that to a 5.5 million defender? It's pretty tough. So what we'll do now is we'll have a look at the team that I've set up for Game Week 2. So transfer out for me this week is going to be Danny Ings. I did want a Manchester United attacker going into this run of fixtures. Unfortunately, Greenwood's let me and himself down following his escapades in the last few weeks. And Bruno's just out of my price range. So is Marcus Rashford. So I still think Martial is a fantastic option up front for Manchester United. So starting off in goal, it is going to be Ryan. He's away at Newcastle this game week. Probably a long-term pick for us there. As we go up into our defence, it's going to be a difficult week for the Liverpool pair again. Trent and Robbo, they're away at Chelsea. And Lewis will play against Brighton at home. Going on into the midfield, it's going to be Captain Aubameyang yet again against a struggling West Ham side. We've got St. Maximin against Brighton. Havertz will face Liverpool, and Dele Alli will be against Southampton. Hopefully both will play. And up front, we've got Martial against Palace, Werner against Liverpool, and Calvert-Lewin against West Bromwich Albion. All of my players are pretty much playing against each other. It could be another tough game week. So the transfer that I made, it was Ings to Martial. Now, arguably, I could have gone for something with Ali. I could have gone something with Havertz. I had 0.5 million in bank, but I felt like Ings was the right way to go because I wanted Ings to Martial. That was it. Ings was going to be my 1 week punt thing. Anyway, I think we'll have been a little bit harsh on Kai Havertz. I think he will adapt, he'll improve. Dele Alli might get given something to go out there and improve, but if not, he might still go out for James Rodriguez before the deadline. But again, I'm going to wait and see about that. So the two changes into the starting 11, Martial in for Ings, and you can see Lewis at the back in there, who I already had anyway, was on the bench. He swapped in for Kyle Walker-Peters because they are playing against Tottenham Hotspur. But again, I don't want it to be like the Mo Salah video and the No Salah video, as it were, because I still feel as though when I've looked at a lot of teams out there, we're looking at 4 million defender clean sheets. We're looking at 2 penalties for Salah. We're looking at 2 penalties for Jamie Vardy. Now, I am not in any way, by the way, like angry about that or you know, blaming people for captaining Salah because he was my 50-50 choice between him and Aubameyang. I just feel as though, yes, it's all right to say you don't have Mo Salah. What a stupid decision. How can you not go for him? But again, it's just like, hello, Captain Hindsight. You know, you're using present knowledge to tell me about things that have happened in the past. If Salah would have blanked against Leeds and, you know, Aubameyang scores a hat-trick, people wouldn't be, you know, commenting on things or on Twitter or whatever saying, oh, well, of course you don't go for Mo Salah. His pre-season was so bad. I actually never said Mo Salah was a bad option. I just didn't want 2 premiums. And my plan was always going to be 2 weeks of Aubameyang, and then switch Aubameyang out for Kevin De Bruyne or Raheem Sterling. So, again, when I've seen people with big scores, say like 60, but 40 of those points, or, you know, people with 50 points, but 40 of those points have come from Mo Salah. And again, I don't think that you can rely on Mo Salah, captain, every week getting you 40 points. So I still feel as though, as a squad, this is good. It's just unlucky that all the players that I spread the money around did nothing. So I still believe in the plan. I still think this is a good way to go forward. But I just feel that maybe I've just chosen the wrong players. You know, if I'd have chosen a couple of other players in those price brackets, things might have worked out a little bit differently. I have made a little bit of a tempting early wildcard draft, but I'm just going to try and stay strong. And I'm even going to try to not take a hit because I kept saying, try not to take hits. And again, I'd be so annoyed if Dele Alli does play and get something at Southampton when I've taken him out for a hit, right? So I'm probably going to try and stick with this. So let's go forward and have a look at the fixtures before we round out the team selection video and see which ones to target for the up and coming game week. So we kick off game week 2 with an early kickoff with Everton against West Brom. A lot of eyes will be on Everton following their impressive win against Tottenham Hotspur, whilst West Brom and fellow promoted side Fulham are looking very, very shaky. And that next game is Leeds against Fulham, 2 promoted sides, with Leeds taking some pride out of that result at Anfield. United kick off their season at home to another makeshift Crystal Palace side. Still cannot believe with the injury crisis they have and having to play the likes of Kouate at centre-back that they are still keeping a clean sheet, but I still think United will overpower them. Arsenal are looking good since the back end of last season and the FA Cup and Charity Shield win, and a convincing win against Fulham as well, against a West Ham side that feels like a mutiny is on the way. So that could be a fixture to target there. They were very poor against Newcastle. Southampton can consider themselves very unlucky despite dominating possession and having a few good chances and some amazing saves by Guaita in the Palace goal. But they're facing a Tottenham side, but they do like to concede goals as well. So maybe getting rid of Danny Ings was not the right decision. We'll find out obviously next week. Newcastle against Brighton, that could be a close one. Newcastle usually pretty solid at the back. Got some good additions now going forward in the likes of Wilson straight into the side. Hendricks had a good debut. Fraser still yet to make his bow for Newcastle. Brighton, difficult to say against a very expensive and good team against Chelsea, so we'll see more about them following this fixture. Then you've got the big game, Chelsea against Liverpool. That's going to be very interesting. Can Liverpool sort out their defence? It feels weird saying that when you've got Trent, Robbo and Van Dijk in the back, but there you go. They were very, very exposed by Leeds at home as well. And will Chelsea have their new players gelling time? I think that's going to be a really interesting fixture. You've got Leicester against Burnley. That could be a pretty low scoring one. Leicester, despite getting 2 penalties, didn't look like they were really going to knock the door down there at West Brom. You've got Villa opening their season against Sheffield United, who I did predict to have a second season syndrome issue, convincingly beaten by Wolves in the Monday games. And then, Sunday for you guys. And then Wolverhampton Wanderers will play Manchester City. Again, another team starting off their season. Man City, can they take advantage of what has been a shaky start? I know Liverpool still got 3 points, but that must have given them a little bit of heart to think this could be the season they win the title back. So that's it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, maybe leave a like and click subscribe just over there. And hopefully, if I do have more time, I would love to do more FPL videos like top 3 picks and captaincy choices and things like that, but just time will tell. But I will at least do 1 video a week, and of course I stream on Fridays 12 to 12:30 start time UK time on a Friday afternoon. Hopefully I'll see you there. Let me know as well what you think about my no Mo Salah plan. Should I ditch it? I've made a wild card draft squad, and oh my God, I'm so tempted to just press that button, but I'm going to try my best to refrain. Let me know how your season started, who's your captain for this game week, and who is your transfer as well. Let me know in the comments below. I always do reply to you guys. Hope you have a good day, and as always, have a good one.